case you're wondering why I sound slightly funny, I have a bit of a cough, it's because I caught some sort of cold when I was in Virginia for a major family event, and the cough is lingering. It wasn't COVID, but the cough is lingering. It's rather annoying. Alright, kidney beans, assuming I got the cover photo to work properly, you'll have seen me next to a massive stack of books that I'm claiming is my book haul. That is factually incorrect. It's not. That's just the books that are on my TBR. Yes, I know it's a lot. The books I'm actually hauling are most of the ones that are on my TBR, and some other ones that aren't on my TBR, for reasons we'll discuss momentarily. Starting with the Methodist hymnal. Yeah, there's a reason it's not on my TBR. It's a hymnal. Not a book you read. It's a book you sing. Next books that are not on my TBR is this little stack. We have Snow Treasure by Mary McSquiggan, The Two Princesses of Barmere by Gail Carson Levine, All Things Bright and Beautiful by James Herriot, All Creatures Great and Small by James Herriot, and Prince of Malorn by Annie Douglas Lema. Now, some of these may get reread in the near future. However, yes, I have read these, and I reread these too just recently. And yeah, I'm intending on rereading probably all three of these before my birthday. Anyhow, that's part one of my haul. Next up, I have two books that aren't on my TBR because I need to read them before I get too far into my TBR, and they are ARCs. We have Raina Larson and The Kingdom of Petunia by Sharon Vernon Crawford, and The Maid of Ballymacreel by Jennifer DeBell. I know basically nothing about these two books. You will hear this statement rather a lot. Next, I will pull off the stack of my TBR that I am reading next, and take out the one that I'm currently reading, and that is technically actually not being hauled. Let's talk. We have Toothbreaker by M.H. Elric. I've read one book by her. I'm sort of an online acquaintance of hers. She reads an indie author, and I've just picked it up because it was on cheap at the Black Friday sale. Then we have The Dark is Rising by Susan Cooper. This is the entire 5-book series. I have read book 1. I was considering getting them all in single books, but this one was cheaper, and it had all of them. Next up, we have Nicholas Bishop, aka Simon Lee, by P.D. Acterson. P.D., we are acquainted. The font, the writing, the choice. You cannot read the title on the front cover of this book. You can't. And that's nonsense. And it's even worse on the spine. Other than that, I'm very excited to actually finally get around to reading. Next up, we have The Wandmaker's Apprentice by Ed Masessa? I don't know. I know nothing about this. I presume this is first in the series. And, yeah, that's about it. Next, we have Gift from the Storm by Rebecca A. Morris. She's an online acquaintance of mine, good friend, and I had to choose between this and one of her other books because they were the same price, and this one had a couple more pages, so I chose this one. But they were both super hyped up by my friends. Why are those not in the correct order? Then we have Shiloh by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. It is a Newbery book. And we have The Roan by Anne McCaffrey. I don't know. I've read 1 or 2 of her books, and I have mixed feelings about them. So we'll see if I like that. Finally, we have Helen Keller, The Story of My Life. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory, the story of Helen Keller, and how she's someone I really enjoy reading about because of, reasons. My sister did a movie on her when she was in college. Then, those ones are old books, but starting with new books, we have Daughter of the Desert by Noelle and Brennan. Again, another book I know nothing about, fantasy. I don't know, it sounded interesting on the back. So, yes. Then we have The Men. I feel like I've heard about this book by Sylvia Wach. On the back, it sounds like it was really popular when it first came out. In All of the Dragon King by Stephen R. Law. I know nothing about this book, but it looks cool. It's got a dragon on the cover, and it sounded interesting, so I picked it up. It's like 35 cents. Poison's Dance, Beyond the Tales, Book 3, by Tricia Mingering. I have the audiobook of Book 1, an ebook of Book 2, and a physical of Book 3. Eventually, I would like to get the physical of all 3, but I just wanted the last update in the story. So, we started collecting with Book 3. And finally, my most expensive book, I believe, if you don't count shipping especially, of the year, An American Family in World War II, edited by Captain Minka, Sandra O'Connell, and Hera Butowski. It's signed and everything by the author, one of the editors. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. She would talk to me. It was at the Smithsonian. Amazing. Then we will switch topics slightly for a second and update you on some picture books I picked up. The Ostrich Girl by Ray Prather. It looked cute, and that's good enough reason. Giraffe Travels by Jean Craig George. She's the author of My Side of the Mountain trilogy, and I love her for that. She also wrote Chili of the Wolves, which is her more well-known series. I've not read it. Animals at My Doorstep by Helen Hoover. It just looked pretty. That's probably a bad picture. Here we go. American Eagle. Anyhow, and then we have The Friday Nights of Nana by Amy Hest. I've read it. It's a fun story about a family celebrating Sabbath. And we have A Koala Grows Up. It's a look into the first half of a koala's life. And by with that, I mean it doesn't talk about its koala's death. You go from birth to mating. Mrs. Moskowitz and the Sabbath Candlesticks. Very fun story about moving. I enjoyed it. And The Wine Glass, A Passover Story by Norman Roaston. I've not read this one yet, so I can't tell you about it. But I will. Maybe. Don't hold me to it. And finally, my stack. That's the straw list. Now, a couple of these. Actually, this one is the most. That is the largest section. That is old books, which might not be wise, but whatever. I'm excited. And we'll start with The Wizard and the Floating City by Christopher Rowley. I read the second one of The Basil Brooktale by the same author. I enjoyed it, mostly. So when this one came up for free, I thought, we'll see if that holds true. If I enjoy this one, mostly. Might not be the best way of going about picking books. Then I have Elephants Can Remember by Agatha Christie. I'm just slowly picking up Agatha Christie books as they come to me. This one was like 10 cents. Not a bad deal. Then I have My Kingdom for a Quest, The Bookhaul-Last Quest by Kendra E. Arnett. I have read and enjoyed so many of her books, so this is the start of my Kendra Arnett collection. Yeah, I need to read another one of her books. I think I have an art copy of it. And then we have The Redeemer Chronicles, Book 1 through 3, The Awakening, The Holy War, and Reclaim the Dark Lands by Julie C. Gilbert. I have read one book by her. I had mixed feelings about it. She's an indie author, and I had mixed feelings about it, but I'm excited because I really liked the ideas. It was just slightly how it worked out that I wasn't 100%. And finally, we have Julie and Julia by Julie Powell. I have been watching Auntie Jeff, and he talks about this story. So I was like, saw it for 10 cents. Gonna pick it up. And that is my book haul. My absolutely rather massive stack of books that I have recently added to my collection. And so now I'm going to put them all back where they came from.